since when I did the player ratings, I had not gone ahead to obviously come in here and obviously have a talk with you, but I'm here to talk about Ten Hag's longevity in question at Man United after that game of football they went ahead to lose and sorry to draw. Because for me, I call it a loss because I felt like all what was supposed to go onto our side, it really went onto. We never really deserved to get a point. That is it. I've gone ahead to see the comment or the one of the reactions of the manager of Brentford after the game. He said there was only one team on the field of play that was supposed to win the game of football, and that was none other than Brentford. The intensity they applied, it makes you think that maybe Ineos was right to obviously try to put Thomas Frank onto the list of managers that should come in through and will replace Erik Ten Hag. His job is really in jeopardy because however much we back him, when these players cannot rise up to the occasion to get in the required points to really take us far to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United, then there is no need for us to obviously come out and talk about maybe keeping him around, because sometimes you'd like to break that curse of a manager not accomplishing his third season at the club of Man United, because David Moyes didn't even finish one season. Louis van Gaal completed 2. He was not even allowed to start his third. Jose Mourinho, he came in through in 2016. 2018 he was gone. Then Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, for him, he really went ahead to obviously start his other season because he came in through in 2018. Then he came in through, his first full season was 2019, 2020, then 2020, 2021, then 2021, 2022 in November, he was sacked, meaning that he started his third full season and he was really shown the door because the team was not really performing well. So that curse of the third year looks like we might not fail to break it to an extent that however much Erik Ten Hag is kept at the club of Man United for the third season, he might not really survive the sacking of Ineos. And I think a little bit Ten Hag is costing himself his job a little bit, as I've come out and really been objective about him and even Ineos and those that really want to really get him sacked. For Team Ten Hag out, I would like to inform you that I understand your point, because you can't tell me that you start McTominay ahead of Amrabat. I tell you, that really baffles me. Why? The primary role of Scott McTominay is not to score goals. That is it. If he feels like Scott McTominay is a good goal scorer, let him be played as a centre forward. That is it, period. But that midfield was really so much porous, because of Scott McTominay. Even when Casemiro came in through, he was carrying the burden alone. He was carrying it alone. And it sends a message to you that Ten Hag is not willing to obviously let certain players off his pitch. People like Bruno Fernandes should be benched. All right, if he starts and is playing crap, why do you keep him on the field of play? This is why I sometimes believe that maybe Ten Hag is the orchestrator of his own sacking, because there are certain things that he's doing that are really very evident that you cannot keep doing in your team. You have one of the best number 10s in the world, that is Eriksson, and you keep playing Bruno Fernandes. Mason Mount is there. Why did you bring him, at the club of Man United? So, the query on the players that Ten Hag is starting, my query is on 3 players: McTominay, Marcus Rashford, and Bruno Fernandes. And for Marcus Rashford, I went ahead to rest my case because I really knew exactly that the manager has gone ahead to start benching him, and sometimes way back the manager decided to obviously put him on the bench and really started Garnacho. But yesterday, you ask yourself, who was the first to be taken off the field of play? I think if Garnacho had not gone ahead to obviously operate very well onto the right attacking side of the midfield, then even Rashford is not operating well. I think you would have gone ahead to keep on Garnacho and took off Marcus Rashford first. That is it. So, Ten Hag is like signing a letter to sack him. Every manager that has trusted Scott McTominay has gone ahead to see himself sacked, because he will show you that he can get you 7 goals in the Premier League season, but ask yourself, is he doing the job of a number 8 into that team? Because as we played in that game, Kobe Mainoo was like the sitting central defensive midfielder, and then Scott McTominay was the box-to-box midfielder. And it really worsens and really baffles me a million times when Ten Hag makes a substitute and he brings on a player to see to it that Bruno Fernandes drops deep in the double pivot and plays Scott McTominay ahead of them. What kind of coaching is that? That is where I ask myself, what is wrong with Erik Ten Hag? You know, you're having Eriksson who can play as a number 10. Why don't you scope off Scott McTominay and get on Eriksson or Mason Mount to play in the number 10 position? Let Bruno play in the double pivot with Casemiro and let a better number 10 play ahead of them. But you're having a better number 10 and you don't want to play him, and you put yourself in a situation of really, how is it called? Grinding out results. You understand? I've gone ahead to read through all what he said after the game, and I've not gone ahead to find any story that I can even come out and talk about, because he was playing defensive. And one of the positives I've gone ahead to say is that he admitted Brentford outplayed us off the park. That is a fact. He has gone ahead to admit it, and good enough, he has gone ahead to take it in. But it was really a very bumpy ride for the club of Man United. You can't really come out and really look like that when you're playing against Brentford. You know, it was like they want to take us back to the baptism of fire they did to Erik Ten Hag in his second Premier League game in his first season at the club of Man United, when they really baptized us by 4-0 in the first half, because they hit the woodwork. Was it 4 times? That is Brentford for you. And I tell you what, we had a lot to really lose, and the draw just came in through, and for me it looks like a loss, because these are the games that are going to hit to pre-tick onto my wins. You know, in the game of Chelsea, Liverpool that you are playing next, I thought we could really draw at Chelsea and really find ourselves winning the game of Liverpool. But with the way we played, I cannot come out and really guarantee you that Man United is going to really go ahead and really win our next game. So, to bring you up to speed, Erik Ten Hag has some games to come. He has to play against what is the team? He has to play against Chelsea on Thursday, and I think this week is really going to be heated up. On Sunday, we are playing Liverpool. Now, if you're really playing Chelsea, that I've gone here to draw against Burnley, and you're playing them at their Stamford Bridge, it's not going to be an easy game. And I'll come out and really analyze it, because Chelsea are really a very good team, and they're going to attack us, and they're really having clinical finishes and very many players that can win the game of football for them. So if you really understand exactly what you're talking about, it is really going to be hard for the side of Man United, obviously clinch 3 points at the Stamford Bridge. And you saw it that went ahead to play in London and couldn't obviously kill off the game in London, and we've only gone ahead to beat one team in London, that is Fulham, ever since the Hag came in through. If you're playing away from home at Old Trafford, we've gone ahead to beat them, but away from home in London, we failed to clinch a win from other teams like West Ham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, name it, Tottenham Hotspur, name all those teams. So it is very bad for the club of Man United that we're really looking very, very bad, and it's really one of those shocking moments that you wouldn't like to obviously go through and really remind about. After that, you're playing Liverpool, meaning that we'll be done with the big teams in this season. You'll be left with 7 games to go, and if you win 7 games, you're left with 21 points, and those 7 games have there is even Arsenal. So out of those 7 games, when you come up and really win them, it really gives you a little bit of a relief. But can you trust Man United on winning any game? I read a comment of Redknapp, one of the presenters of Sky Sports. Let me try to find it here, talking about how inconsistent the team of Man United has gone ahead to be, and how it's really taking us years and 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 years for Man United to find consistency into this kind of game. So Where did he say it? Let me show you this on the screen. Let me try to show you this on the screen a little bit. So he said, Jamie Redknapp, there are lots of talks about the manager. Will he still be here next year? I think the way the players are playing right now and the kind of performances they are going to decide. They are the sort of performances that get the manager the sack. There was lack of effort. If they really like this manager and want to play for him, they will do that. I saw so many players strolling around and not looking like they care. They're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world. That's why I really talk about the players a lot into this mixture, because Ten Hag on any day will come out and really give them tactics that can beat Brentford, but do they put those tactics into action? And right now, no one is going to sack the manager. For every player who comes out and thinks that he's going to really play to sit into that Ten Hag really get sacked, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. All what's going to happen is simple. They'll let him really accomplish the season, and his verdict will really be made at the end of the season by Ineos. So for every player who plays thinking that he's really going to see the manager sacked, no way. If they're going to hate to keep him around for almost the time they're going to hate to be running the football operation, the club of Man United, the CEO is still on a gardening leave. Who is going to sack him? So if they sack him, everyone will be saying the Glazers are going to hate to sack another manager. But what they'll need to do is they will wait until the end of the season and see how things really pan out with the CEO and sporting director. And by the way, there is even a shocking story. I went ahead to say that we might see business in the summer not being run by the new people, but by the old people that have been at the club of Man United. That is John Mata, David Harrison, and very many others. Sorry, Harrison, is it Harrison Hargreaves? That is it. So it's really a messy shit at the club of Man United. And if at all you want to know exactly how messy it is, just go ahead and really flip around things happening at the club of Man United. It's really very, very bad for us, and I think we should raise up to the occasion and really stand with the manager, because he deserves another chance. I want to see Ten Hag being gotten in players. I'm going to hate to say Arsenal fans saying United is really that team that can be beaten left, right, and center. Now, I tell you, for the first 2 seasons, Arteta never had himself a goal that Ten Hag is going to hate to have. Arteta, for his first full season at Arsenal, he finished 8th. Leave alone those 6 months he came into and managed Arsenal. I'm talking about the season of 2020. Let me check the Premier League table. 2020, 2021. Premier League table. I want to really have a look at it. Now, Man City had 86 points. You understand? Man United had 74. Liverpool had 69. Chelsea had 67. Leicester City had 66. And Arsenal had 61. They finished 8th. You know, that was his first full season at Arsenal. Now, that of 2021, 2022, he went ahead to finish 6th. 2022, 2023, he competed for the trophy, and this season is also doing well. So I hate it when people come out to try to spread a rumor that Arteta was really better than Erik Ten Hag by then. First 2 seasons of Man United versus the seasons of Arteta at Man United, Ten Hag is really doing better. And why is Ten Hag doing better? And why is Arteta doing better? And today's going to hit to obviously draw away at Man City. It's because of the time they're going to hit to give this player or the manager. He has going to hit to utilize it very well. So guys, tell me your thoughts about Ten Hag's longevity at Man United in question. All that and more into the comment section below. Happy Easter to everyone watching in through, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. The Muslims, Ramadan Mubarak.